those comments below, guys. I love to hear them. And till next time, this is M from the 33 Secrets. Don't forget to smash that like button below. Go ahead and smash it right now. Do it for the DeLorean. Smash that like button below. Also, hit that notification bell right next to it so you're notified whenever I release a brand new coaching video here on the YouTube. More importantly, guys, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. Helps me out a ton when you guys actually subscribe to my channel. So please make sure you're subscribed to my channel as well. And for all you guys who want to support my work and all of this red pill, gold pill, and platinum pill content that I am teaching you even further, the best way to do that is by jumping into my monthly online coaching program, 7 Months to Mastery, where I am teaching guys just like you how to go out there and approach and close. Thank you. This car gets so much attention, it's crazy. How to go out there and approach and close the youngest, hottest, and most beautiful looking women on the planet. I'm talking about 8s, 9s, and 10s. The same exact type of women that I teach my students all over the world to go out there and approach and close. And we're making it happen every single week, guys. I kid you not, every single week, all over the world, no matter what kind of pandemic is going on, no matter what kind of virus is going on, we are making things happen and continuing to live our lives 24/7, 365 days a year. And I want you to join us. And it's the best way to support my work as well. So you're killing two birds with one stone there. And it's real easy to get signed up. All you need to do is click that link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. It just takes 2 seconds.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Nerd Chronicles. This your host, Proud Lane, the socially awkward nerd, Christian Paul is up in the building, ladies and gentlemen. And what we have here, we have this intriguing article, ladies and gentlemen, that's actually very interesting, that actually may challenge some pseudo-red pill ideals, if you will, that you actually basically lure with all these pseudo PUAs and all those pseudo alpha gurus that want to lure a lot of vulnerable men with cash, cars, women, the appropriate version of the Jay-Z song, Money, Cars, Hoes, woof woof, feel me, get the little DMX sound effect literally right up in there. And what we have, ladies and gentlemen, is basically Matt Cross reviewing an article. And for those of you who don't know who Matt Cross is, Matt Cross hosts a unique YouTube channel that is titled The 33 Secrets, ladies and gentlemen. And we're actually going to try to see if some of his stuff is actually verifiable, or some of it is actually just delusional, or parts of delusional. Who knows? We just want to try and make sure that for the viewers actually watching at home, whether or not this guy has some very, very strong credentials, and we are here to find that out today. But before we do, we gotta try and look into the whole backstory here. Sorry about the messiness when it comes to the recording, but we're gonna dig into Matt Cross' Instagram real quick. Juicy! Ladies and gentlemen, what we have is the Instagram account of Mr. Matt Cross, the 33 Secrets, right? And we can try and scroll down a bit and see what we have that's going on here. And you see Matt basically just macking with like a bunch of women, getting the allure of cars, women, maybe cash. I don't know if he saw any cash, but he's basically the self-proclaimed master PUA, if you will. You got women after women after women coming through, basically knocking some stuff out with some background photos here, and you see a bunch of women that actually came out behind the scenes. I'm assuming. I'm trying to go look into some pictures, and we know they got some recognition that's up here, that's out, and then you see another woman that's usually by there behind the scenes as well. So I'm assuming it's like a 3 anniversary is going on with his current girlfriend here, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm assuming that they're together. So make sure here. So yes, he is in an exclusive relationship with his girl. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he's like a professional Mac or anything like that. We don't know. Still trying to do some more digging about him and who he is. You know, so he may seem legit. We'll try and dig into some of his stuff. I want to try and dig into the article. Not really more about the person. Not really actually trying to belittle Matt at all. But I want to try and dig into the article that he has mainly set forth.
Welcome to tonight's coaching video, guys. Got a very important topic tonight that we're going to dive into. It's about whether or not women retain the sperm and DNA from past sexual partners. And I know I did a video covering this a few years back, but we're going to cover it again in tonight's coaching video because I noticed these articles are mysteriously disappearing from the search engines, which always raises a red flag that the Matrix is trying to remove these so that you don't get educated. Okay, and so let's jump into this tonight, shall we? And I'm gonna provide more evidence that I really do believe that women with lots of sexual partners are retaining the sperm and DNA from those past sexual partners, which
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so I took a moment to actually try to review some of this stuff myself. I know the video that came by, I apologize for like the recording of the video with Matt here that was basically like a big shot. So I want to try to do a quick gloss of what's really going on how some of the stuff is actually mainly working. So Mind Foster, basically with them, based on this little article that you definitely get. I will definitely give you guys the link to this article so that you can definitely look at it for yourself, as well as the response of the other article that actually definitely shows these types of ordeals. Basically, Mind Foster reports that women retain and carry living DNA for every man with whom they have scrambled eggs intercourse with. According to the University of Seattle and the Fred Hutchinson Cancer Research Center, and what's a study which discovered the startling information by accident was originally trying to determine if women who have been pregnant with a son might be more predisposed to certain neurological diseases that occur more frequently in males. So basically, this was like wasn't part of the initial study at the time. The study found that female brains often harbor mild microchimerism, or in other words, the presence of male DNA that originated from another individual and are genetically distinct from the cells that make up the rest of the women. In which the study of 63% of the women out of the 59 women that actually partook in the study up at University of Seattle and the Fred Hutchinson Cancer Research Center tested harbor male microchimerism in the brain, in which male microchimerism was present in multiple brain regions, in which the researchers wanted to know where the male DNA came from and determined that the possible source of the male DNA cells living in women's brains are 1, an abortion the women had no idea about, 2, a male twin that vanished, or 3, a notable brother transferred by the maternal circulation, and 4, scrambled eggs. Juicy! Juicy! First option applied to a very, very small percentage of women. They couldn't possibly account for the 63% figure. Fourth option, it's rather more common. 6. This became a very important ramifications for women, which is very huge on like how they able to actually receive, spirits and all the other stuff that Matt Cross is mainly talking about. I know I was like doing like a live review based on his video, in which you see some of the videos that he literally goes off basically on that professor. He does a little bit of research on what the professor is.
Ramifications for women. Do you hear that? Every male a woman absorbs, every male a woman sleeps with, she absorbs spermatoza. that becomes a living part of her life. Okay, it's like swimming around in her body forever. And here we go to the debunker, right? However, Suzanne Sadedin, PhD in evolutionary biology, disputes this claim in Forbes. She queries, do women retain DNA from every man that she's ever slept with? No, of course not. Where did the cells come from? They asked her. Dr. Suzanne Sadedin says that the most likely explanation is pregnancy. During implantation, embryonic cells are what if the chick's never been pregnant? So I'm not really going to go through much of her refutation in here, because she's really playing a lot of mental gymnastics in this paragraph. You could read it yourself. I'll link to the article below if you can't see it up here, or you could just Google the title. You'll find it really quickly. But one thing I always like to do, right, when they have somebody who refutes a claim from basically a large institution like the Fred Hutchinson Cancer Research Center or the University of Seattle. One thing I like to do when I see somebody refute it like this with all sorts of misinformed claims is I like to Google them. So let's find out who Susan Sadedin, PhD, really is. Here we go to her Twitter page here. Here she is. She's an evolutionary biology, science, and science, whatever she studies here. Here's her latest retweet, guys. This is the type of research you need to do. Whenever you see somebody try to refute a serious claim like this that sheds women in a bad light, you have to look at the person, right? You have to Google them and find out who you're listening to. Just don't just listen to them because they have PhD after their name. So here she is here retweeting. How many times does this have to be said? Women and girls don't need encouragement to pursue careers in science. They need to be forced out of systemic biases and policies that promote men's success over women. All right, she's woke, right? She's woke. She's promoting, obviously anti-patriarchy. Oh yeah, screw Donald Trump. Of course, right? She's at, there she is again. I found some more on her. Let's see. I am interested in the origins of diversity at several scales, including species.
That we'll actually be digging about. Every male or woman is source spermatozoa from becomes a living part of her for life, according to their findings, based on results that they found. Now, Dr. Suzanne Sadedin, basically from Belgium, they received their PhD in evolutionary biology. This species claim in Forbes. Now, you see Matt mainly go off on her and everything just because he's actually going with like the whole woke and liberal agenda, and then she looked at that definitely did look at like the Twitter and everything that she mainly has, and even she was woke, even she was little. What does it have to do with the whole study itself, right? Even with Jordan Peterson, who has a PhD as well, doesn't really have the woke mindset at all. You got like some professors that all have conservative mindsets as well as liberal. And also, getting the PhD is literally not easy. It's extremely gruesome. It's extremely mentally draining. It can literally wreck folks that even attempt to even get one. Trust me, I've been up in that field before. I literally trying to attain the PhD in mathematics, and I unfortunately was booted out of it, coming up short in 3 courses. Okay, I almost literally passed my qualifying exam, and those are like the burdens you gotta be dealing with. They have like some very strict requirements when it actually comes to obtaining your PhD. You gotta make sure all your courses are A's and B's. Okay, you also have to try and make sure you pass brutal, gruesome qualifying exams, depending on what school you mainly deal with. If you fail one qualifying exam, depending on the mindset, you're gone. You fail 3 courses, you're gone, just like that for life. And that's just the easy part, ladies and gentlemen, after going through 3-4 years of gruesome work. Okay, once that is done, then you gotta try and make sure you do like a thesis or a dissertation that you have to defend with the approval of higher ups, and there's a chance they may not even approve your thesis or even approve your theory. And like once that happens, you're not really comfortable with that and you have all these disputes, go somewhere else, go transfer and all these things. And you wonder why a vast majority of the people that actually are in PhD candidates at the end of it, actually try to stay for the PhD, don't even make it toward the end. It's like a very few that mainly finish their PhDs in the majors that they actually applied for. Right? It is some extremely gruesome work, even if you do graduate a PhD. Okay? You still gotta be going through like some cutthroat stuff, actually competing for people that were applying for jobs up in industry or even in academia. And that can literally take years to literally go through as well. You know, if you have to actually try to worry about building up a portfolio and all these things. That's another challenge in itself. Right? So, I can respect and I can appreciate those that actually completed their PhD and actually gone through how they went through, because that is not an easy thing to do. Now, Dr. Stadden disputes this claim in Forbes, in which he queries and questions the women retain DNA from every man they've ever slept with, and she disputes the notion that they do not. She says where the cells come from, in which she says the most likely explanation is pregnancy, in which implantation embryonic cells are programmed to divide extremely fast and invade the mother's bloodstream, and which sometimes they can establish population from non-parts of the body that survive the rest of her life, which in some cases. And he asks, why do women who've never been pregnant still have male cells? It could be they've been pregnant, they just don't know it. Or there could also be two other possible sources for their cells. One, cells from an older brother that have been obtained in the woman's mom were incorporated by the woman who she was growing in the womb. Or two, cells from a male that was sourced from birth. I think I probably explained that already. And they may retain some non-sperm cells from other male partners, since that has never been studied. And, you know, the article claims biology is weird. Who knows? We'll actually just dig into the Forbes article just for the full detail of this whole ordeal. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have an article from Forbes. Unfortunately, you have to actually pay to actually go see the article. Excuse me. Titled, Male DNA is often found in women's brains. Where does it come from? And it's coming from the same professor that actually was contesting it. And it definitely took place in August 15th of 2017, over 6 years ago. So let's see if we can try to scroll down and see if there's any correlation into what's going on. So we can try to see what's going on here. So it basically asks, do women retain DNA from every man they have ever slept with? You know, a lot of, you know, the claims from the red pill gurus, the pseudo red pill gurus, ladies and gentlemen, originally appeared on Core, and Dr. Stadden basically replied, no. The claim comes from an absurd clickbait article on Your Newswire, which I won't give more oxygen by linking. That article refers to this study, which found male cells in 37 out of 59 women's brains studied. And I could try to go to the new tab, I believe. Let me make sure it comes by, because I know it's been a while. They challenged it. And if we scroll down further, ladies and gentlemen, and see basically asks, where did the cells come from? The most likely explanation is pregnancy. During implantation, embryonic cells are programmed to divide extremely fast and invade the mother's bloodstream. Sometimes they can establish populations in other parts of her body that survive for the rest of her life. And this is in some cases, ladies and gentlemen. And so we scroll down here. But wait, another study showed that a few women had male cells, even though, so as far as they knew, they had never ever been pregnant. Based on this, the authors of the Your Newswire article make a gigantic leap to claiming that these cells must be sperm collected from sex partners. Now, think about sperm. They're haploid. They can't function like normal human cells. Hey, there we go. Biology 101. They're highly specialized, having evolved solely to compete to get the egg. One egg one egg. You know, one egg you crack, you'll make your scrambled eggs. Hey, hey. They don't survive more than a few days, even in the oviduct, which evolve storm. And most importantly, they cannot divide. So if we scroll down here, ladies and gentlemen, so no, according to Dr. Sadin, women don't retain men's sperm for life, scientifically. Uh-oh!
Juicy!
That's just silly. Why do some women who've never been pregnant still have male cells? Most likely they had been pregnant, so they're moms. They just didn't know it. It started at around half of all pregnancies and in spontaneous miscarriages, very often before they are detected. Shit!
Juicy!
There are also two other plausible sources for these cells. Number one, cells from an older brother that have been retained in a woman's mother were incorporated by the woman when she was going in the womb. Or two, cells from a male twin that was absorbed before birth. It's remotely possible that women might sometimes retain some non-sperm cells from male partners, since that's never been studied and biology is weird. But there's currently no reason to think it's true, and many reasons think it's not. For starters, the female reproductive tract is actually a horribly unfriendly place to start a new cell colony. If it weren't, you'd have embryos growing all over the place, and an ectopic pregnancy is really bad news. You would be far more likely to catch someone else's cells in an open womb, but that's also extraordinarily rare. Example, the case of a surgeon who developed cancer after cutting his hand during surgery on a cancer patient. Cancers are cancers because they proliferate aggressively. In fact, they often use the same genetic architecture as embryos. But even so, we don't generally worry about catching cancer because our immune defenses radically eradicate foreign cells. The chance of propagating normal adult male cells in the reproductive tract is presumably far smaller. Juice!
Juicy!
Alright, so what's the moral of the story, ladies and gentlemen? You know, as I stated earlier, it's never really about body count primarily. It's more about the trauma that the woman is experiencing. If you know the woman has like way too much trauma and all that stuff, that she feels unfit for to really be in a relationship with you, just walk away, just go somewhere. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be part of that, you know what I mean? Let her sort her stuff out. Let her handle her own ills and her own therapy stuff on her own primarily. And if you want to actually support her in doing that, then that's fine. But it is not your job to mainly save women from their own ills that they have in the past before they met you. It's your job to actually handle your own business. It's your job to handle your own traumas and get yourself right. Primarily as much as you can prior to you literally being in a relationship. But retaining so many spirits, excuse me, you hear it so often that's up in the general manosphere. While we can find it being partially true to a point, you know, you can't fully treat this stuff literally as like an end all be all. Alright? And giving the credit this guy actually like looking into mass mentality and all that stuff, Matt Cross's mentality, all that stuff, with the three secrets that they mainly have, you know, some of which are basically delusional and not practical in real life. But I know he has a good serious girlfriend behind the scenes that, you know, who knows what goes on behind the scenes. I can't judge, I can't per se. I wish him and her both well. Hopefully they make it out together, but to them, that again, that's their relationship, that's their standards, that's how they live their life, that's not in my control, like how they should be dictating all that stuff. My main concern is really, is it practical in real life towards a lot of people for the average Joe? You know, that actually want to start trying to be more social and actually want to have some one night stands at least, to the point where they want to try and have some fulfilling serious relationships and possible marriages literally down the line. And in my opinion, some of the stuff is a little bit delusional based on like what he saw. And even though he actually did some research and actually took a moment to actually read some of the stuff that was there, he utilized some of the stuff to mainly fear a narrative, even though some of the stuff is actually definitely right. But again, we want to try and make sure that we verify the information, okay, and not get too full down. We need to know why this information came to be before we literally just try and take it all the way up for a brand saying, oh, this is like the gift to gospel. Always verify and make sure. Okay, that's really the most important thing that you have to worry about when it comes to this whole ordeal. Okay, just never ever forget that. You know, this is some real crazy, interesting stuff when it comes to talents and red pill philosophy. And probably sometime coming soon, I'm currently actually filming the first part of the whole ministry ordeal right now as we speak. And I'm also going to be in the works and actually digging more into the opposite side of the red pill, which is called the pink pill. You know, it's going to be very interesting how shit mainly goes down up in these streets. So with that, Christian Paul is signing out for the Nerd Chronicles. You know, y'all have, you know, a good time. You know, how y'all have a good one. Enjoy the next clip that I may be on the show, and enjoy some growling, you know, by some of the Pink Pill viewers and the Pink Pill supporters mainly out there.
Only change when they are afraid that you will be happy without them. That's why all your exes come crawling back the exact second you've moved on. The best thing you could do to keep him on his toes is to be happy without him even while you're still in the relationship. If you are not happy regardless of him, then you will tolerate whatever he puts you through because you will be afraid to lose him. Subconsciously, he will not be afraid of losing you because he knows that your happiness is tied to him. Wake up nice and gentle, and men wake up like morning wood, like ready to go. You guys are getting a hit of testosterone and cortisol every morning. It's giving you mental clarity. It's giving you energy. Women are not getting that. It's just science. Men are still telling women that they're lazy and they're making excuses, but the science is we only get a boost of testosterone during ovulation, and that's when women are saying, I can do everything I need to do all month in that 1 week. Now imagine if we got to feel like that every day, and men are still out here saying women are lazy, excuses, no matter what I say. Apologize all the time for doing something, but then do it again 1,000 times. It's always something bad enough to make you unhappy, but not just bad enough for you to leave. So you end up in the worst position where you're unhappy, but you can't move forward with your life. They don't understand how unhappy it's actually making you, and they think that that apology is enough to make up for it. They don't realize that there's all this resentment stacking up until you finally leave.